Today's video is sponsored by Bassist. So today we're checking out another pair of Soundpeats earbuds. In fact, the pair that we're checking out today is the brand new Air 4 Pro. Now this is the first pair from Soundpeats that has Snapdragon audio or Snapdragon sound built in, which means you get to take advantage of aptX lossless playback. And it also has aptX adaptive. And all of that is very impressive, especially when you look at the fact that this pair retails for $79. Although right now, because they're just released, they have the little coupon box you can check off. And they sent me a coupon code for you guys to use, which I'll have in the description, where you can pick them up for only $47. So for under $50 to get that Snapdragon sound with aptX lossless already makes this a hell of a deal. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the other features and some of the other things that you get with this pair. It does use large 13mm drivers, which are usually found in open ear style earbuds. It also has Bluetooth 5.3, which means you get that multi-point connection. You can connect to more than one device at a time. That always comes in handy if you're somebody that likes to use your earbuds to watch a movie on a laptop or a tablet, but then you want to be able to switch over and take a call if somebody just happens to call in while you're watching a movie. Let's take a quick break to hear from today's sponsor, Bassist. We basically live in a world where everything is getting smaller, and if you're buying a laptop, you're realizing that you're losing a lot of ports, and that's where the Bassist 13-in-1 hub has definitely come in and saved me. Having 13 different slots, including USB-C pass-through for charging up to 85 watts. It has 2 HDMI slots, so I have my 4K display and also my 1080p drawing tablet for editing and things like that, all plugged in at the same time. It has an Ethernet port. It has SD card support, which is, when I'm shooting my videos, I just pop out the SD card, throw it in the hub, and it quickly transfers my files. And even faster than that, if you're going to use their dual 10 gigabyte per second USB-A ports, you're going to get even faster file transfer speeds if you're going to use a flash drive. But it also has a micro SD card slot, a VGA input, USB-C, and an aux input for using headphones. So it basically does it all. It gives you every kind of connection you could want. So big things really can come in small packages, and I've enjoyed using this 13-in-1 hub. And if you're interested in checking it out, I will have it linked in the description. And again, I'd like to thank Bassist for sponsoring today's video. Now this pair also has hybrid active noise canceling, and I was actually impressed with the quality of the noise canceling. Now it's, again, not up to the Sony and Bose level, but it's kind of hard to expect that in a pair that you can get for $50 when the Sony and the Bose come in at $300. So I felt like the noise canceling did a really good job, basically with lower tones like engine noises, AC units, anything like that. But with people talking, it still kind of allowed that sound to come in just like any other pair of earbuds would. Now the transparency mode on these, I was very impressed with. I felt like the mics did a really good job of picking up my surroundings. I had no issues being able to carry on a conversation without actually taking the earbuds out. So that is a huge plus. Now this pair works with Soundpeats app, basically meaning that you'll always be able to keep these updated. It does have a personalized EQ test that you go through. You tell it that you can hear different tones, and it tries to put together its own EQ based off what results you have on that test. And I was impressed with how well it did. I still felt like, just leaving it in the Soundpeats EQ option was the best. There's some other pre-built EQ settings in the app, and you can actually go in and customize it the way that you want to. You can also disable the touch controls in the app. So if you're going to use these in an environment where, you may have to adjust these quite a bit and you don't want it to accidentally pause your music or skip it forward or turn the volume up or down or anything like that, you can disable that, which is a nice touch. Now, speaking of the controls, this pair does use touch controls, but sadly, it doesn't give you control over everything. It does what some Soundpeats earbuds do from time to time, which doesn't give you the ability to go back to the previous track. I don't know why they do this. I mean, I've seen them have all of their controls on other earbuds. So, you can play, pause, skip your tracks forward, but not go backwards. You can turn your volume up and down. You can switch it into the gaming mode, but it's just, again, kind of confusing why they don't at least let you go in the app and switch around your controls. Now, as far as the design and the look of these, they're available in two different colors, basically a black and a white. You can see that I have the white version here. Now, the case has a glossy finish to it, which I'm not a huge fan of because it makes it slippery, but it also picks up fingerprints. But I also don't really feel like it matches the earbuds because the earbuds have a matte finish to them. So there's a better grip on the earbuds. You can see that it has a stem style design, but at least it's the short stem, so it's not, super long. It's not standing out or looking really obnoxious. And this pair also has the smart sensors, so if you take your earbuds out, it will automatically pause, and then it'll just go back to what you're listening to when you put your earbuds back in. Now, as far as what all you get inside the box, it does come with the usual small, medium, and large silicone ear tips. It also comes with a USB-C cable, which you are going to have to use because this pair doesn't have Qi wireless charging, which this I feel like they missed on because we've seen a lot of $50 to $100 earbuds have Qi wireless charging, and I've kind of gotten used to that. So kind of sucks that this pair doesn't have that. But speaking of the charging, battery life is pretty decent because on a full charge, you can get about 6.5 hours on the earbuds and about 26 hours using the case. And although it doesn't have like a true fast charging where, a 10 or 15 minute charge will give you an hour or 2 hours worth of use, it only takes an hour and a half to fully charge these. So, it does come in handy if you do happen to pick them up and they're dead. It won't really take too long to get them fully charged. Now, as far as using them outdoors, it does come in with an IPX4 rating. This is basically just like the standard when it comes to earbuds with noise canceling. So it means that you cannot drop these into water, but it'll be fine against rain and sweat and splashes and things like that. Now, if you're going to use these for taking phone calls, this is a pair that's using that aptX voice feature, which does an excellent job of picking up my voice. It's doing a really good job of blocking out my surroundings, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is the mic test using the Air 4 Pro, and this is another area where there is quite a bit of traffic going on pretty much right in front of me. So this is to give you an idea of how well the mic picks up, but also how well it can just block out a lot of the stuff around me. So this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. So now let's talk about the sound. And the sound on these definitely mimic having that large 13mm driver. It's not holding back when it comes to the low end. There's plenty of bass, there's plenty of punch, and I don't feel like they're trying to control it as much, like having that tight feel. You can tell it has a slight looseness to it, kind of giving it that subwoofer type feel. But luckily, it doesn't come in and roll over the mids and the highs. The treble has a nice bright sound to it without being too harsh, and the mids, you can tell that they boosted just slightly. They didn't want to push it too forward, but they definitely have it where it's not getting lost in genres like metal or anything where there's just a lot going on. So it's pretty well controlled, but it definitely has that Harman curve to it to try to appeal to a lot of consumers, which I think this pair will definitely do. Now, when it comes to the soundstage and the sound imaging, this is where that dynamic sound kind of hold these back a little bit. It kind of feels like you're in a medium to large size room. It definitely doesn't give it that really wide open feel, but luckily I had no issue with being able to tell where different sounds were coming from. So my overall opinion is, yes, this pair does lack Qi wireless charging, and it really doesn't have a true fast charging feature. But getting Snapdragon sound and that aptX lossless playback, and also aptX adaptive, you're getting aptX voice on phone calls. You're also getting those large 13mm drivers that's kind of pushing these quite a bit when it comes to audio, and also being able to go into the app and switch around some EQ options, and having that personalized EQ is really a lot, especially when you look at these as a $50 pair of earbuds. So this is definitely a pair that I could recommend. It's a great way to experience that Snapdragon sound without having to spend a whole lot of money. So this pair definitely comes with a high recommendation. But guys, that's my video on the SoundPeats Air 4 Pro. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.